Hey guys, welcome back to the Color Room. I'm Alicia.
I'm Lauren. So today we're going to be discussing a topic that you guys actually asked us to talk about, and that is what we look for as an owner and a employee or a stylist when it comes to either hiring or looking for a new salon. Some of our not green flags, some of our things that need to get checked off the box.
Yeah, our checklist, I would say. Yeah. So
I actually did make a checklist.
Kinda. I sort of.
I figured when I was done talking about it, I could just knock it off.
Because honestly, I feel like there are two different perspectives, but very much similar. I feel like hopefully, and that should be like your right match. So hopefully, we have some of the same. Because otherwise, girl, you're fired. No kidding.
It's only been 8 years?
It's fine.
Been trying to get fired from here for years, and she just won't fucking let go.
Can't leave me. I know for me.
Let's talk first. What position are you in this?
I am the owner. I own Infinity,
which is where we're currently at.
And I feel like when I opened my salon, we've talked about this on podcasts before. I was really looking to create an environment for stylists to feel comfortable and at home and family, and I wanted that environment. So for me, it's super important to find the people who fit that environment. And, not necessarily how people look per se. I wouldn't say that because no judgment. I don't care if you have pink hair, purple hair, blonde hair, whatever. If you have tattoos, no tattoos.
Those fucking blondes.
Always those blondes. I feel like it was more like, can you come in here? Can you get along with everyone and not create drama?
But where's the fun in that? Okay.
No matter what, I don't care if you have the most perfect salon, there's always going to be a little bit of drama. It is what it is. So I feel like that for me was my most important, is finding the right fit. And that also meant people who were goal oriented, who had a passion for the industry and, really had a love for hair and enjoyed what they did. And they weren't just about the money. And obviously money is great.
Money.
But when it comes to having relationships with your clients, I feel like that's also super important.
Yes.
And not to make it feel like a chop shop where they're in, out, and it doesn't matter.
A hair factory, if you will.
Yeah. So
not the brand hair factory, just in the sense of getting them out.
Super important to me. And also people who want to continue to learn. I don't want my employees to be doing the same haircut on everyone. I want them to be, getting education and not necessarily only going when I'm paying for it. And that's really important to me. If you're taking that initiative to go get education, that's huge. And of course, I'll always try to help as best as I can. But I also can't always afford to send everyone to every hair class. That's also on you. You should have that want as well.
You should want to invest in yourself.
Correct.
No, I got
why should I invest in you if you don't even want to invest in you?
Yeah.
No,
I get that.
So those are just a few of mine. So now you go.
Well, so obviously I'm a stylist. I do not own. So that's where I am coming in on this side of the conversation. So I have my list of things that if I were to be walking into a salon to interview or even do a trial, what I would be looking for in both the salon as well as the owner. And it's funny that you talked about education because my first one was education motivated in the sense of, are you going to, I don't want to say are you going to send me for education, but is that something that is going to be an opportunity that will be brought up when
encouraged?
When I go get education, is that going to be acknowledged?
Yeah.
In the sense of hey, I'm seeing you're investing in yourself and bettering your skills. And I'm not talking about acknowledgement in a cash payment, but just acknowledgement of hey,
I see you have a drive. I see that you want
yes.
And I totally agree with that because I'll be listen, I've taken a notice in that. And even if I don't say it, I'm very well aware of who's going for education and who's not.
Yeah. So for me, that was a big thing because I've also been in salons where even as an apprentice, they're oh, we're going to teach you. And it's you never took the time to come in on a Monday or let's say an hour after work and work on a haircut. And even if it's basic fundamental things of let's work on a blowout. Let's work on just cutting a base, like a straight haircut, one length baseline, like, you know, compared to salons that actually said, okay, twice a month, we're getting together on Mondays from 6 to 8 and we're going to be going over specific skills, whatever it is. Is there motivation in the salon to get it? I've worked in salons where in the back room there was like, it was like a spreadsheet and it had your name. And every time you took a class, you would like mark it off. And after you took 5 classes, you know, maybe you got like, you know, the owner bought you lunch. And then after 10 classes, so there was reason to go get classes, but those classes were also free because they were through the company that I worked for. So like they were easier to offer that way. But like, is there motivation? Are other people in the salon going?
Yeah.
Because that's a big one for me.
That is a big one, yeah.
You know, because am I the only one who's upping my skills, or is the owner also upping their skills? Am I surrounded by, again, like-minded people? Yeah,
I agree with that. I also feel like as an owner, like I mean, you can say if that's not my perception of myself, I want to say like, but like I don't think I know everything.
No.
So like I love going for education, and I tell when I teach a class, I'm very much like, I don't think I know the whole everything.
If I'm the smartest person in the room, I'm in the wrong room, babe.
Yeah, I don't want to be in that room.
If I'm teaching in that room, I still don't want to be the smartest person actually, because I still learn. You learn from each other.
I was going to say that, like, you don't know what you're going to pick up. I've learned stuff just from teaching classes.
Absolutely.
Too. So, I mean, it's definitely, education is super important.
Yeah. No, which is actually funny because one of my other ones is other stylists' work. Because realistically, this was something that I looked at when I was interviewing places, because chances are that's where you're getting your hair done then. So are you working in a salon that you like the work that also is walking out the door?
Absolutely.
Because again, chances are you're getting your hair done there. And when I was interviewing, I was still an apprentice. So that's the type of hair that I'd be learning.
Yeah.
If I don't like the way a salon does hair, why am I going to work there? Because it's not something that represents what I want to grow into. And when I say don't like, that could just be personal style. Like I don't do Vivid, so I'm not going to necessarily go and work with Vivid in a Vivid salon if I want to do lived-in balayage. Not that you can't have both, but if that's a salon that specializes in Vivids, there's going to be an expectation for you to follow suit.
Yeah, I agree. So that makes sense. I like that.
So yeah, I would stalk Instagram. Obviously I interviewed here. So I stalked your Instagram page and was like, all right, so the stylists that you do have, what kind of work are they putting out? Because that's also, again, in a personal way, it's what I'm going to learn.
I would say what you're going to learn and like what you're going to pick up. And no, I agree with that. I feel like when I was a stylist, or an assistant, I should say, I would literally watch everyone. And I would pick up little bits and pieces from everyone and create my own. So, I mean, it definitely makes sense. Also, speaking of like, you know, social media in a sense, that's something that I stalk people.
Yeah.
I mean, I am a stalker. Not gonna lie.
Joe, is that you? I wolf you.
Thank you. So I feel like there's no more such thing as like a portfolio or like even like a resume per se.
Yes.
Because I feel like your Instagram is like your...
That's your billboard. That's your walking billboard, essentially.
So when back in my day, I literally
get the walker out for you, Grandma.
I had a binder with pictures that I printed out from CVS of hair that I did in like a binder, and that I like, this is like my reference of like, this is the work I can do, which is like crazy because
I grew up in the age of social media that by the time I was coming into my professional,
you could just show them.
It was, you hired me also as an assistant, but I'm sure you also looked at my Instagram.
Oh yeah. And that's the thing. Like, so if someone applies for the position, I always ask for like, you know, do you have social media? Do you have do you have a hair page? Send me your hair page, because I want to see the work that you're posting, so I have an idea of what you're going to bring to the table too.
Absolutely.
And what you're going to offer. Like also like, if you're not doing XYZ, that's what my salon does all the time. That's what I need. That this might not be the best fit for you.
Yeah.
In that sense.
Yeah.
So like even like a Vivid artist, would it be great to have a Vivid artist? Of course, but we in this area, we like at least our clientele, we don't really have the need for it, but it can also bring in.
But I was going to say, but if we had a vivid artist, that would bring in a different clientele and open a different door.
Correct. So it's challenging sometimes as like a owner trying to figure all that out. But
because it's funny that you say that. Because for me, I had put, where was it? Oh, creative freedom / personal style / aesthetic, in the sense of like, am I able to dress the way, again, keeping it professional, but am I able to dress and represent myself in a way that's authentic to me and that I'm not a cookie cutter version of the person next to me?
Yeah, I agree. I feel like your own personality needs to stand out because not every client is going to mesh with everyone.
Yeah, and that's okay. Because we've had crossover in the salon where clients have been with one stylist for a few appointments, and not that anything has gone wrong, but like maybe just personality, style preference, or maybe their normal stylist couldn't accommodate their time, so they went to another stylist and found, wow, I mesh with you better.
Yeah, and that's
I vibe with you better.
Yeah.
Or I like, and again, not a mean way, but I like the way you do hair better because it's better fit for how I like to represent myself as a person.
Yeah. No,
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But like, do I have the creative freedom that when I'm walking in the door, again, keeping in mind you're in a professional like clothing, like no booties, no boobies, no bellies kind of situation. Yeah. Like, am I going to be reprimanded for like, I wear like a lot of band tees and ripped jeans and like combat boots and like sneakers. Am I going to be told like, we don't dress like that here? Because I've been in salons where they try to put you in boxes, and not that I think that's a bad thing, but I also feel like there's a lack of creativity after a while, because we used to wear all black all the time, and now look at us. I know, I kind of like kiboshed it because I was just like, I felt like, well, we then did casual Fridays. Yeah, and I was like, like I just felt like it was very limited, and I'm like, I want to show our sense of style, and I was like, listen, we can wear jeans as long as we were like having it stylish. Like, I'm old school. Like, don't come here in sweatpants. Yeah. Like, I feel like it's not professional. Like, you wouldn't go to your office in work pants. Yeah. Necessarily, you wouldn't go to your office in jeans, would you say? But like, we're at least stylish, and we're fashion forward. As long as we're fashion forward, I'm okay with it. And like the first one I ever worked at, we had to wear white lab coats. I remember you saying that. Which was horrible to try to get the stains off of that. I would literally have to spray Clorox bleach on it and then like wash. It was so annoying. But yeah, we all wore like lab coats, and I wore like, like yoga pants underneath it like all the time, and you never knew what I was wearing. And it was like, it was very limited. Like, and we all looked the same. I honestly felt like a doctor. Yeah. So, I mean, in a way it was nice because like, I didn't have to think about what I was wearing. It's like wearing a school uniform. Yeah. But like, again, I feel like we are in a creative field. I want to be able to look different and represent myself through my own hair, makeup, and fashion, like, and sense of style, than like what you wear. Yeah. Compared to like what Julie wears, compared to what Karen wears, compared to what Clayton wears, compared to, like, and so on and so forth. Yeah. And it's funny, like now thinking about like my first job, and I'm like, we're talking about like learning, and like I literally picked that place because they were hiring, and it was in Chatham. I'm like, I'll make good money, and like, hopefully I'll learn. They promised me like education. Got nothing, but that's fine. Oh, I've been in those salons too. They promise you so much education. Oh, we have a program. In 6 months you'll be on the floor. We go to Vidal Sassoon every 2 years. We didn't go. Which one? So anyway, but it was a leap year. It was all older women, not extremely old, but older. I was the youngest one there, and I will say, I learned root touch-ups. I learned blowouts. And I learned how to precision cut. Yeah. But like, we used Clairol color. Like, we didn't use a gloss or a toner after a highlight. You lifted that highlight to whatever it was, and that's what it was. And that was that. So it was very different, and I didn't learn until I got out of that. Yes. Mm-hmm. But I do want to say, I would look for, like, not so much when I was younger, because when I was younger, I'm like, oh, I want to be around like young stylists and da-da-da. Again, if I were to like be putting out resumes now and being on Indeed and like looking for a job now, I would want to look for a salon that has all different age ranges. Yeah. Because again, you can learn different skills from different people. but like I would look for a more eclectic space like that, where there's different people who have different backgrounds and different ages and different niches, because you could pick a little something up from everything. That wasn't something I thought about when I was younger, because I started working here when I was 19.
Here?
Yeah.
Were you 19?
Yeah, because
we're 19.
Because I think I turned 19 at the last salon I was at, and then I did 20 and 21
definitely
here.
Were 21. I remember your 21st birthday.
I'm pretty sure I was 19 when I left there.
7 years ago.
I'm turning 26 in a few months, so yeah.
Holy shit.
I was 19.
I can't believe I've known you since you were in your teens.
That's kind of weird.
I don't like thinking about that.
Yeah.
Like, I've literally...
You really watched me grow up. But, and look at where we are now. Who would have guessed?
Never in a million years.
But, thanks.
No, I'm not saying it like that.
But like at the time...
I would have known. Other people doubted us.
And look where they are now. Not here, but... No, but like that was something, like being a little bit older now.
Yeah,
that's something I would look for if I was out looking for a job right now for a salon. Was, is there a diverse group of people?
Yeah, I feel like I never had to go through the if I were to say I didn't want to own a salon anymore and I want to look for a place to work, I feel like I would have to really dive deep, because I feel like
there are definitely things.
So many things now I know I would want. Like, I would want a flexible schedule. I would want...
Funny, you say that.
It's like I saw your list. I really didn't.
I know you didn't. And I have a privacy screen, so she can't see it.
I can't see shit.
Well, one of the things I had put, or I guess we can kind of wrap these into one, was a welcoming environment and team. The cattiness. Something I would ask for now would be a trial.
I do that.
Because as a stylist, and this was something my mom, because you were the first person to do like a true trial with me.
Yeah.
And this was something my mom had said to me, like, because I was like, oh, I hope I get hired. I hope I get hired. And my mom's like, but what if you don't like it? Yeah. This is also your way of being like, you know what? Thank you for the opportunity, but this isn't a fit. And again, being older now, I would want
a trial,
like at least a month trial to see how my clients feel about the space, how I feel about the space, what the team is like. Because let's be real, everyone's on their best behavior the first few days, and then snakes come into the garden sometimes. So like, is it a welcoming team? Like you were talking about before, there's always sometimes going to be a little bit of drama in every salon space just because you're working with people. It is what it is. But how do we handle that? Especially, how does the owner handle that? Because I also put open communication. Yeah. Like, I'm someone that, like you said, we want flexible schedules. If I have a lifestyle change, if I decide to become a parent, or, if you have another child, are we able to then be able to adjust our schedules to better fit our lifestyles? Yeah. And can we have that open communication when there are problems and issues in the salon, or just if you're having even personal issues that you just need to talk about, or just let your employer, sometimes you're just going through things that you just need to let your employer know, like, hey, I'm going through something, just so if I'm a little bit more quiet or whatever it is, this is why. And not be afraid that you're going to get your head chopped off. Yep. Like, so again, having a team that's welcoming and people who, like, you don't have to necessarily want to go hang out with them outside the salon, but when we're here, are we going to be civil? Can we get along and have fun? Yeah. And having that open communication where if there is an issue, good or bad, can I go and feel comfortable to talk to my salon owner about it? Or if you're asking for time off, again, are you going to be like, oh my God, could I take a Saturday? I want me to, like just breathe a little bit. I agree. Going back to like the trial, like that was super important to me because, and I tell people when I hire them, like, listen, come in X day, like it's. Well, you usually do a shadow day first before you do like a full on trial too. That's what I mean. Just one. So I guess it's like a shadow day. So like, I'll have them come in and I'm like, this is for you to see if you like it here. Number one, I'm going to see how you work well with my team, with my clients, and then let's go from there. Then after, say like we're both agreeing that you want to be here, then I'll do like a 2-week trial in the sense of like you're here for 2 weeks. Yeah. Before I put you on payroll. Yep.
I need to see how this is going to go.
Yeah.
And I think that's super important, not only for me as a boss, but for you as an employee to make sure that like we're the right fit.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to hire you and go through this and like 2 months later you're like, you know what, this isn't for me. Peace out.
Yeah.
That was a waste of my time.
Exactly. Listen, and sometimes things take time, but at least if you know that you're in a trial and you're having doubts, again, and having open communication,
it works.
You can sit down and be like, you know, so far I've enjoyed this, but this I'm not the biggest fan of.
Yeah.
And again, what are your non-negotiables? What are things as an owner that you can like be like, okay, I can adjust that, and other things where you're like, it is what it is.
My thing is like hours to an extent.
Yes.
So I am very flexible with hours.
Yeah.
Like you need a day off, I got you. You want vacation, go on it. I will let you do what you want to do. But in the same respect, if I'm I don't want to say I'm allowing you to take whatever. You're taking time off.
But if you're being lenient enough that you've never really said no to us.
Said no. Just be mindful, work with me, mm-hmm. and like maybe pick up a Tuesday that you wouldn't work or whatever. And
we just had that conversation.
And it's one of those things where like sometimes, I know this is like not really good to you, but like I don't want to have to tell you to do it. Like I want you to just think to do it because like you want to get your clients and you want to make the money before you go. Mm-hmm. So let's just take an extra day.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that like you have to make it up. Do what you want. Like if you can get your clients in beforehand, great.
Yeah.
If you can't, just be a little bit more open.
Yeah.
So if someone's coming to me and they're saying, I can only work 2 hours today, that doesn't work. Like you need to have enough hours within the day.
It's gonna make it worth it for me as a business owner to have you.
People. Like you can only take so many people. Mm-hmm. So for me, it's like being flexible to an extent. Also, like I will never make someone stay here.
No.
If you don't have clients, I'm not saying you have to sit here unpaid and wait for clients. No. If you choose to stay here and hang out and do what you want to do in hopes that someone walks in, that's on you. Again. But if you're not here and someone walks in, don't get mad at me that you didn't get the walk in.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I almost like, I'm the owner, but you guys are, like you're commission here.
Yes.
But you guys kind of are in charge of yourself.
As your mom would say, your chair is your business.
Yes.
I know for me, I have a rule of thumb. Like, let's just say my day fell apart. Mm-hmm. I will hang out until an hour before closing. And if nobody walks in, like if we close at 8 and I don't have anybody at night, I will try to stay till at least 7. I'll stay till at least 7 because the chance of someone coming in that last hour, most service, unless it's a blowout or a haircut, I can't take anyway.
Yeah.
So then I'll be like, it is what it is. But again, it's also, like you said, is there discipline to build your own book? Because let's be real, a lot of times when you're switching to a new salon, yes, you have clientele who's following you, but you might not everybody. You might be moving out of like too far away from some people. They might like the salon that you were previously at, so they're going to stick there. Whatever the situation is, chances are you're going to have gaps. You're going to have a little bit more ebb and flow. So for me, it's easier to be like, let me build those boundaries. Or not boundaries, but those rule of thumbs for myself now. So that way, something I can keep in mind.
Give yourself boundaries.
Yeah.
Like, okay, these are my rules within myself of what I'm going to do in order to build my book.
Yeah.
But again, like, so discipline, to me, that's like discipline.
Well, so I have something similar written down. I have realistic expectations.
Yeah.
Like you having realistic expectations for me and me having realistic expectations for you. Mm-hmm. I know that you're not going to be able to solve every problem I have behind the chair or every problem that happens in the salon. Mm-hmm. But having that realistic expectation of like, what do you expect from me and what do I expect from you? But again, that goes into communication of like, I can't tell you how many salon owners never told me what they expected from me. And then when they yell at me,
like, why?
You're confused. It's like yelling at a dog you never trained. It's like, well, you didn't tell me you wanted me to clean the bathrooms. So the fact that you're screaming at me that the bathrooms are dirty, I didn't know that I was on my to-do list.
Yeah. No, it shouldn't be, but yeah.
Like, I can't be mad at you for something that we never agreed upon.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Yeah.
You know, setting realistic expectations for each other.
Yeah. And I feel like you can't, like you said, like I can't be like, oh my God, I can't believe they left early. Like if you didn't ask someone to stay, you can't get mad if they didn't come in, if they didn't stay all day.
Yeah.
Also, like I don't expect anyone to do anything for free.
But I also think that there is a little bit of like a common sense thing, because you and your partner are people who will throw bones, in the sense of like if I'm, again, like the example of like, it's a late night, we close at 8 and I don't have anybody and it's 7:00 and let's say the salon is slammed and it's packed and our assistants are running and the laundry needs to get folded and and you're just like, I'm sure that gets noticed too. Oh, I noticed it when other stylists have done it to me, where I'm just like, I'm up to like here
and you're leaving.
Like, I have 3 people, like, I'm running behind, so-and-so showed up 20 minutes late and wouldn't take no for an answer, like, and you're just gonna,
yeah.
But again, that's setting a realistic expectation or having communication of like.
Well, that's where I'll say, like, us being a family.
Yeah.
AKA really a team, in the sense of, if you're running behind and I don't have anyone, I'm gonna help you out. Yeah. Or like as the owner.
Well, even how many times have we gone over to each other when we know the other one's behind? Like, you just get done with your client. What do you need?
Yeah. And we help each other out. So when you see the salon is like jam packed and like we quite literally need the help.
All hands on deck.
Why are you just piecing out? And to me, like, I'm not going to say anything, but I'm going to remember that.
But putting that mark in the back of the book.
Yeah. And because it's not worth me yelling at the person, because they're done for the day and they're not, it's not like they have to stay. They're not being forced to stay. But when they need help, it's kind of like, you can't expect other people to help you when you are not being a team player.
Absolutely.
So it's definitely challenging when it comes to personalities that way. Yeah. Because not everyone has the same work ethic, and mindset of like, I'm going to help them because I know one day they'll help me. Yeah. So, but also as an owner, I'm never like, I'm going to sit here with my feet up and watch all of you guys struggle. If you're behind,
you're the first person in the whole salon to be like, all right, because, and again, I think for you as a business owner, it's also one of those things of like, even though these are my, like, in my chair is my business and my clients, it's still under Infinity. Yeah. Your name is attached to it. No matter whether it's, Lauren at Infinity does it. When someone Googles Infinity, your name's popping up. Yeah. Your logo, your brand.
So let me help you out. And there's many times where like, sometimes you don't even realize you're behind. And you're like,
those are my favorite.
Then I'll come up and be like, Lauren, like, let me help you with this blow dry. Cause it's like, without like making a scene.
Yeah, like be like, go check that thing in the back. I'll take over for you. And you're just like, I'm 45 minutes behind.
I got you. But that's also like, I want to better my stylist, and that helping you guys grow is the most important thing to me.
But I think that's another thing where it's like lead by example, because at the end of the day, as a salon owner, you are the leader of the pack. So lead by example, because it feels a lot less scary and less like stepping on toes when you see an owner doing it or picking up the broom or whatever it is, than for the stylist to be able to go, they're behind, let me see if they need something. But again, that also goes into the welcoming environment and atmosphere of, if I go up to one of my coworkers and go, do you need help with something? When I know maybe they're behind, or maybe it's a service that they weren't anticipating it being as hands-on, are they going to snap my head off because they think I'm undermining them? Like, in the sense of like, do they think that I think they can't handle it? And so they're like, I'm fine, when they're clearly not. And you're like, girlfriend,
help you.
I'm just trying to make sure that we can all get out of here on time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
it's hard. I also feel like I truly want to see my staff grow. Yeah. And if that means like, growing out of Infinity, I'm happy to see anyone flourish and grow. And I feel like that's a very big like misconception of owners, that like, I'm going to be mad that you left me and and this is like, you're taking my client. Listen, your clients are your clients. Yeah. I know that like, if you decide to leave Infinity, done the right way, and I would literally be so happy for you, because that means I helped you grow and I did something right, and I would love to see you flourish and like help you.
I remember this was maybe like a year or two into working here, and you had a stylist leave. Not on bad terms. It was just, she outgrew the place, and that's okay. And I remember having the conversation with you and being like, oh my God, like, like, because in every other salon, that was always a big deal. Like, oh, they left. And you're just like, I know that this isn't a business where everyone's going to stay with me forever. And like, it's a business of come and go in a sense. You're going to have stylists who are going to, like me, stay with you for going on 8 years.
Yeah.
But then you're going to have stylists who are only with you for a few seasons. And that's okay. And that really changed my mindset on it. Because like you said, if you outgrow this place and you're ready to take the next step on your adventure, whether that's salon ownership or maybe moving into a suite or a bigger salon, whatever it is, whatever would fit you best.
It's okay.
It's okay.
I'm okay with it. And again, like, I wish everyone, like any person who's left here, I wish you the best of luck.
Yeah.